Hello guys and welcome back to week 3 of the Simple Football Show. Yes guys, and we are back. We've got a bag full of results coming and fixtures coming your way for me to discuss goals, VAR, how teams perform and all the good gossip stuff, and still where I think teams are going to end up finishing, because week by week my mind keeps changing. I know it's early days still guys, but we're going to be showing you all the fixtures and it's going to be good, talking about them, give a little bit of detail about them. So are we ready? Let's get underway. So yes, the first game that kicked off was on Friday 23rd of August, which was Aston Villa vs Everton, and to be honest it came as a surprise to me that Aston Villa actually won the game, because we saw in the first 2 games they lost both games. Yes, okay, they played alright in them games, but they deserved probably to get a point or something from them, which they didn't do, especially when they go against Bournemouth and so on. But against Everton's not conceded this season, so I was like, you know what, Everton, they've got firepower, they've got an alright back line. I was expecting them to probably get a draw at least against Villa, but to go 2-0, and they didn't really play it that well, do you know what I mean? Like everyone was saying, they're not putting their best players on. They bought attacking players, Iwobi, and that Keane from Juventus. They bought good players, young players that will get him goals and game results, but this, he's slowly warming them into his team, which I think you need to start doing it, because otherwise you're not going to get results. They've only had 1 win out of 3, you know what I mean? I know they did draw, but they need a bit of because they're going to be playing bigger teams in game. They're not going to be able to win them. Do you know what I mean? If they're not putting that firepower on. So for Everton, they've got to start doing something quickly. Villa, what a performance from them. Aston Villa played brilliant in that game. This game really did. They have the ball, they controlled it well, and I feel like it's kind of probably a result that they deserved from the past 2 games. Yes, the first game of the season didn't play amazingly. Second, I feel like, they played well, they had some chances, just didn't finish them, And when it comes to this one, I think they played brilliant. It was at home for the first win in about, I don't know how many years since they've not been up. So it was really nice for them. Obviously, Wesley and El Zahazi scored brilliant goals for both of them as well. They played well, they passed the ball well, and I think overall Aston Villa, they're looking up. I think this is kind of their kickstart of the season. What they're going to be getting more results now, better results, you know what I mean? And can they actually stay up from getting relegated throughout the season? So it's going to be an interesting one. But yeah, that was Friday, and a really good fixture, and honestly really kicks off the weekend, having that 2-0 win to Aston Villa. Then we had Norwich vs Chelsea, which was a crazy game, which is a lot of that game actually, a really mental game if I'm honest. We know at the minute Norwich is doing phenomenal, because you got the one and only flipping Pukki, which is banging in them goals left, right and centre. You can't stop scoring. Everyone's got him in this fantasy league, age 5, but we can't just say it's all about Pukki, because Norwich collectively are playing amazing. They're finishing, they're working good as a team, they're defending well. Yes, there's going to be a little mistakes here and there, but for saying they're a team that got promoted from the Championship, they're doing something that not many other teams are doing. Do you know what I mean? If I'm being honest, they're the best team that's got promoted so far. Yes, Sheffield United's been playing well, but compared to Norwich, they've just got that firepower, they've got something about them. It's like they want to stay up. They are fighting as a team. Each player on the pitch works hard. Watching the games, you can see they really are. And going forward, they're phenomenal, you know what I mean? Calmar got a goal as well. Just going forward, I think they're really attacking. Unfortunately, they did lose though, obviously, 3-2 to Chelsea, which I feel like, Chelsea, okay, to be honest, Chelsea probably played the better team over the whole game, if I'm honest. I just don't want to take the fact that Norwich has had a brilliant start to the season, you know what I mean? Yes, they lost against Liverpool. Yes, they lost to Chelsea, but win last game. Yes, you've only got 3 points from 3 games, but that's a brilliant result for saying you got promoted. And there's promising stuff there. It's not a team that you're looking like you've not got anything. You've got a lot there going for you. But yeah, Chelsea did win. A brilliant performance from Abraham, star player for me, if I'm honest, and obviously brilliant goal from Mount. To be honest, Abraham, I think that's what Chelsea have been missing. It reminds me similar, to them big, strong striker. A traditional striker who holds the ball up, gets the ball, that's tall, gets some headers, gets some long shots off, and for me, I think he played it brilliant. Kovacic played really well as well for him. He's not really been in the games, the past 2 games, not really been performing, but I think Van Lampard's finally getting his system, what he wants to play, who's going to be the main starting 11. I think he's slowly starting to see that, and I think the results will come for him. Like I said, I don't think it'll be top 4, but I think the results will come for him. I feel like, for me, Abraham's probably better than Giroud. Giroud is a brilliant player, but I think Abraham's got a lot more to learn, but also become better than Giroud. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like Giroud on the bench is probably the best idea, and bring him on as a sub. I just feel like Abraham, he can get goals, he's quick. I just feel he's got a little bit more than Giroud. And they played well. Like I said, nothing I wouldn't say spectacular from obviously Chelsea's point of view, but a really good performance. From looking at the past 2 games, when they've been a little bit quiet. I mean, against Leicester they played quite well, but I feel like they've slowly came into their own. You're starting to find what they want to play, how they want to play, what style they want to play, because the new manager, new players, it's going to change a lot, you know. So big shout out to Chelsea. I think they did actually quite well that game. Then we had Southampton versus Brighton, and again, Brighton started off amazingly. They really did. Brighton started off so strong with the season. Obviously, you're going to have a few knocks here and there. But I got to be honest, I don't think Brighton played too badly. They got the red card. They got a VAR goal disallowed, which, yeah, okay, it probably was a disallowed goal, not going to lie. But I don't think they played that badly. They had 10 men at the end of the day. Yes, I know Southampton did win 2-0, but I don't think Brighton, I don't think from that game, yes, you didn't, you know, you didn't create chances, but you're going to struggle when you've got 10 men, you know. Some teams can perform with, out that extra play, or some can't, you know. But it was in the 30th minute, and you know, that's going to take a big hit. And obviously we know Southampton scored their goals 55th and 90 plus 1 minute, which, you know, like I said, Southampton deserved to win. I'm not going to say they didn't. I just feel like Brighton shouldn't go too hard on themselves. I think they played all right. I think they had a lot of chances created. Sitting at 10 men, you can't go too wrong. But big shout out to Southampton, you know, they've got results on the table, you know, they've been a bit unlucky in the previous game not to get more goals and get results and equalise, stuff like that. So for them, you know, 2-0 win for them, I think that they'll take away from that. Quite happy with that. You know, like I said, they're dangerous on the attack. They know what they're doing. They know the system. They're playing the same sort of system for quite a few years now. You know, they've got quite a few in defence. You know, they usually play with 3 with the 2 wing backs going up. You know, they've got a good team and they're going to upset a lot of teams. So, you know, for me, I think Southampton's played pretty well there. Then we had Manchester United versus Crystal Palace, and for me, probably the biggest shock, and you're probably going to be the biggest shock across the weekend for me. Yeah, obviously Crystal Palace were 2-1 away, get in. I'm just happy because United are losing. So obviously Crystal Palace did win 2-1. But I've got to be honest, even though I'm not a massive, obviously I'm a Liverpool fan, I don't want to say I hate United. It's a bit harsh, I don't hate United. I dislike United. I think they've got an amazing team, they've done amazing history, but obviously I'm not disliking them. It's just what it is, you know. I know a lot of United fans as well, but yeah, United fans, yeah, honestly, if I'm being honest, you probably deserve to win the game, if not draw. I'm not going to take anything away from Crystal Palace. You know, they did play well, they put in the word, you know, they chased down the balls, you know, they were doing good and they got some good goals. You know, I'm not going to take that away from them. I just feel like United were a little bit hard done to when it comes to VAR. We know, like I've said, guys, you've seen my previous video. If you've not checked that out, VAR video, telling you all about it. I feel like VAR, like we said, it's going to be a big part of the season and it is going to set up a lot of teams. And my opinion, it's upset United. They had about 4 penalty shouts. One of them they got took. Unfortunately, Rashford missed it. I mean, that was a mild miss. I mean, it hit the post, but unlucky for him. You know, and then he was filled with chances that I personally think, well, I think at least 1 or 2 were actual penalties. I think it was Martial running straight down the line and it got ambushed, but apparently it weren't a VAR, a penalty decision, which, or even a free kick at some point, I think, I don't know if it was in the box. Yeah, and it weren't counted. And then it was another one with Rashford where, and then another attempt as well. It was 3 different instances, I can't remember quite which how, but I feel like personally, at least 2 of them were probably penalty decisions. I feel like VAR was a little bit tight on that and they should have given it. I know the ref didn't, but I feel like if you're on goal and you're getting hit in the back or something, you're not going to go down unless you got hit type of thing. What's the point? You're on there, you can score a goal, do you know what I mean? So I feel personally for United, they were a little bit hard done to. I feel like VAR wasn't at his best, and like I said, it's going to happen to every team this season. They're going to be a mistake and we can't do anything about that. Like I said, it's new, it's learning. But yeah, from United's point of view, feel bad for you. You probably should have got a draw at the least, but you didn't. You got to move on from it. Cracking goal from James, got to be honest, really good goal from James. Honestly, he's been performing. I know it was an 89 minute. He has been performing. He's been doing well. He's been performing well. And his game results for you, obviously not this game, but I think it will make a big difference to United. I wouldn't expect this from him, saying from Swansea to United. It's really stepped up to it. Crystal Palace, on the other hand, really well played. Jordan Ayew, star player for me, really is. Had him on the bench from Fantasy League, but yeah, brilliant play for me. Just because, you know, it's the first time he's starting this season. He just holds the ball up. You know, he's getting that attack against United. He was getting behind him. He hold him up. He was just doing the things you want a centre forward to do, and he brilliant goal for him. It really was calm, collective in the goal. He just played well, and obviously the last goal for Anhol, what a goal. smacked it. I think Davide couldn't stop the power, used it straight in, and they got the winner. And to be honest, I'm not going to take it away from them. Yes, VAR decisions went towards Palace, but they played well, you know. They've been all right the other 2 games they played, and they played well. And you know, they keep doing this. They're gonna get performances. They're gonna get result, and they're gonna have a good season. So you know, for Crystal Palace, I think this is their kickstart, hopefully, so they can get a bit more goals and actually start pursuing, trying to get more goals in the Premier League. And I think they can. They're good enough. They're a good enough team to do. You know what I mean? But yeah, guys, my camera went flat. A little bit annoying. Can't do anything about it. Every time I film, it's like 2%. Oh, it's gone flat. So it was a bit annoying. I bet the lighting's changed. I bet the camera angle's changed. So I do apologise, guys. If you're just saying watching the video nicely and it does that, I do apologise. But let's carry on. So obviously, the next game we had, guys, was obviously Leicester versus Sheffield United. And obviously, this was a really good game to watch, actually. Really good game. Obviously, Leicester won 2-1. Vardy, Bonds scored, and McBurry for Sheffield scored. And you know, it started off, I've got to be honest, you know, I think Sheffield were in it for a little bit to start off with. They were in it, they were trying to create chances, you know, we know they're good at home, we know they've got an atmosphere, you know, they were doing good, but they weren't finishing the chances enough compared to Leicester. And obviously Leicester managed to get the result, and obviously Vardy scored first. I love what he did in front of the Sheffield United fans doing this, like, hey, because obviously he used to play for Sheffield Wednesday, obviously his roots from there, so obviously, you know, he's got to pick hard to that. So obviously playing and scoring against Sheffield United, he would have loved, to be honest. So yes, obviously a 2-1 victory to Leicester, and to be honest, it was deserved. I think overall, yes, Sheffield were in it a little bit, but they kind of fizzled down, weren't really playing to the full extent. They weren't playing to what we've seen previously, and I think Leicester got the result they deserved. You know, they could have got a few more as well. You know, they were going forward. Madison was playing a phenomenal game. Vardy looking for the ball, and terrific finish as well by Barnes as well. Like, what a shot! I think that was one of the first games he came on, but what a strike! Came on, Brandon Rodgers, brilliant job at Leicester, by the way. Let me just say, I think he's doing a cracking job. He comes on, what a strike! I mean, come on, what a strike! You know, obviously Sheffield levelled it. I was like, all right, this is good. And Leicester, what play to him, they managed to get a goal. They managed to get back in, obviously winning the game. So, you know, for me, I think Leicester played well altogether. I really did, actually. And I think, you know, again, like I've said, top 7 for me, because I think they're going to finish teams off that other teams are not going to. Do you know what I mean? So, well played to Leicester. Big shout to them. Big shout to them. Then we also had West Ham versus Watford. This was actually a good game as well. West Ham versus Watford was a good game. But again, I keep saying I'm a little bit shocked by the result. I was shocked by the result because we know West Ham, recent years, they've not been amazing, they've not been doing that well. And Watford, I think they've been doing pretty well. Since they came up from the Championship, they've been a good team, they've been solid, they've been getting results. And I'm like, oh, I think Watford, you know, maybe get a draw at least. But no, they lost 3-1. And to be honest, I was shocked because to start off with, Watford were on the front foot. I'm surprised, obviously I know they got a penalty and West Ham label, so we kind of, you know, hit that down. But Watford were creating chances, we're getting in there. Dia Leify were getting behind him. Well, who's had chances he missed? They had a lot of chances they missed, and obviously they equalised with Gray's goal, which was a cracking goal. It really was. But they had a lot of chances, they could have gone up and they could have got a result, but they just didn't perform, they really didn't. And obviously the new signer, Paula, got the 2 goals. Obviously he's a big money signing, West Ham, the biggest transfer they got. He did the job, he came on, he didn't have his best performance of the game, but he got the 2 goals, you know what I mean? And I just feel like that game, West Ham overall obviously played bad, they got the result. But Watford, what are they doing? Defensively, they are struggling, Watford, but they're not finishing the chances as well. I think I'm sure, yeah, they've lost all 3 games at the start of the season, and apparently there's rumours about the manager getting sacked and stuff like that. Because I know, you can tell, they've got a quality team. Last season, we saw them, they could win games, you know? I had them for top 10 originally, until I saw the first 2 games of the season. Now, I'm questioning, could they get relegated? They could do. At the minute, they're the only team that are not performing the way they should be and the way they're good enough to be. You know what I mean? They got a good tank. They can score goals, but they're just not doing it at the minute. They missed an easy opportunity. Will Hughes just flinged off his leg. It happens, but you've got to sometimes be clinical in chances like that. But you know, it's a shame Watford are losing 3. You know, they were quality to see, man. You know, I know it's early days. They can change everything, but they've got to step it up quickly because West Ham, I was shocked that West Ham was able to beat him, especially away as well. Especially being away, I thought it was going to be a draw at the least. But you know, top play to West Ham, they played well. They've got a team that has actually got top quality players. They just got to keep getting the results, you know what I mean? Then we had, obviously, My team, come on Liverpool. Liverpool first Arsenal, brilliant result. I'm obviously well happy about this. Obviously I saw the whole game, obviously. Liverpool 3-1, what can I say? A beautiful team. We played roughly the same team we had the last game out. Obviously, to start with, Matip with a thumping header. To be honest, we were all over Arsenal. We were, I don't want to be all over Arsenal, but it was true. We were all over Arsenal to start with. A massive thumping header by Matip. What a goal. It's got off the off. But we were probably unlucky not to score because we kept getting behind the defence, keep going forward. And it just came down to that Alexander-Arnold corner. Header, what a goal. Do you know what I mean? I got to give it to Arsenal. They had a few attacks, but in the first half, not really. We were right behind them all the time. Second half, Salah, king. Obviously, we know he's the king. Got the penalty, which was clearly a penalty. David Luiz, what are you doing, mate? You're pulling his shirt. I mean, come on, mate. I'm not being horrible to you, mate, but you can't be doing that. You know there's going to be a penalty, you know what I mean? People might say, oh, it's a bit light going down. It was clearly an obvious pull, you know. It's going to be in. Then, obviously, when they had a corner, we had a counter-attack. Salah, beautiful bit of skill. David Luiz, again, their fault against Arsenal. What were you doing? A bit laziness, mate. Salah got past you, ran. Beautiful goal. You're not going to stop them. Bomb left corner. It's going in. No chance. You got to hold hands up. It's quality player. You know, Arsenal did get a consolation goal. Obviously, Torreira, you got to give respect. He did get a consolation goal. It was a good goal as well. But it was kind of all fumbling in the box. And they scored, you know what I mean? But I feel for myself as a Liverpool fan, we played well. We got the result. To be honest, I thought it was going to be a little bit harder game than what it was. Yes, Arsenal has a few chances. They could have got up. Pepe, Aubameyang, they were playing well. They had some chances, but they just didn't finish the chances. On another day, they probably could have got 3 or 4. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest. Our defence was a little bit rocky, and it's not been, I'll be honest, Liverpool defence, we've not been as solid as we were last season. We're struggling a little bit in defence. We're playing a little bit too high line. People are getting in the back of us, but we're pulling results and we're not playing at our best. Yes, going forward, I think we're always there to a top notch, but defensively, I think we can play a lot better. Yes, people say you're not changing anything when you're from your back four, but at the end of the day, we've put Adrian. Yes, he's a quality keeper, but compared to Alisson, in my opinion, Alisson's the best keeper in the world. Where Adrian's a good keeper, but a keeper can order the back line, sort it out, and maybe that's an issue at the minute, we don't know. But obviously, we've seen the games, we are playing a little bit too high line, which I don't think, you know, when it comes to the likes of Cities, you Spurs, it could catch us out a little bit. So we just need to be careful, but at the minute, we're getting results, we're playing well, and I've got to be honest, a beautiful result for us, and the team played well. We just keep closing down balls. We just keep closing down, getting the result we want to, and I can't be any more happier as a Liverpool fan for winning 3 games. The only team in England to win all 3 of the start of the season in the English Football League. So I'm buzzing. Let's go. You know how it is, guys. I could talk about Liverpool all day. You know I could, guys. But it's phenomenal. We've got Burnley this weekend, so I can't wait for that, guys. Hopefully we can put in the result. We know Tottenham's a tough place to go. So hopefully we get the result. Again, we're going to be looking good. We're 2 points ahead of City at the minute, so I'm buzzing about that. And wish we'll go on City games later, but I'm buzzing about that. I just buzzing. I'm buzzing all day long. But yes, against Arsenal, I was scared about Arsenal because Arsenal are a very good team. And like I said, last game they played phenomenal. They've got Ceballos, they've got Aubameyang, they've got a good team. But in this game, they didn't perform. They really didn't perform. Arsenal, you know, I think still at that stage where they're not. Some games they play amazing, some games they don't. Yes, I think they will be one of the big sides. 100% they'll be one of the big sides. But it's just if they keep getting that list form when they go off a bit, they're not going to be able to get top 4. You know, I put them in the top 4, they can do. But if they're doing list, maybe not. But a brilliant game, honestly, and 3-1 result really was fun, boys. Then we went on to Sunday fixtures, guys, and we had 3 games list in the Sunday with Manchester City first Bournemouth, which was obviously 3-1 to Manchester City. To be honest, Bournemouth played well, but compared to City, you know what I mean? It's City. Oh my God, you got City'd. You got City'd. That's what happened. To be honest, they came away at Bournemouth. Bournemouth's a top place to go, and I thought Bournemouth maybe would have stood in a little bit more, you know, but unfortunately they didn't, you know. Obviously Aguero, beautiful goals, M2, and obviously Sterling as well, you know. They were all over them, but in the nicest possible way. City was pretty much in Bournemouth's half. Yes, Bournemouth had a few chances here, there, everywhere. But to be honest, City could have gone 5-0 up, to be honest. They really could have. But yeah, a little bit of good defending from Bournemouth. They stopped the chances, try not to get out. But we know what City like to do. They've got a fun 3-4-5, you know, the midfield half the time playing strikers because they're that good. You know, they've got space. They're not going to be on the man like other teams are. They find their own space. They get the creativity. They find passes out, your Sterlings, your Aguero, and Bournemouth is like, oh, okay, do you know what I mean? But I've got to be top off to Harry Wilson. What a free kick. I think probably one of the best free kicks you're going to see all season, to be honest. You know, like I've said, once he's finished his time at Bournemouth, like I said, Klopp wants him in his plans. I want him in Liverpool. We all want him in Liverpool. He's a top player. I think this season was all about how can he perform in the Premier League. We saw him at Derby County, he'd gone to Bournemouth, he's a performer. He scored last game, he scored this game. I feel like at the end of the season, Klopp's like, okay, we want to need you. Even if he's a sub, he was still going to be a quality player to come on because he can perform. And what free kick? No keeper's going to stop that free kick. No flipping keeper, unless you're right in that corner. Do you know what I mean? It was just a beautiful goal. And I thought maybe Bournemouth might get back in it, but unfortunately they didn't. City did play better and, you know, they got the result from it. Then we went on to Tottenham versus Newcastle, and I was pretty buzzing about this just because Spurs lost. I didn't want them to win. Obviously, you know, the big teams, you don't want to win all the time, unless you're Liverpool. Let's go. But yeah, Newcastle was a shock to me, especially away from home. For me, yes, I've got to be honest, Spurs overall did have a lot more attacking options. They had a lot of chances, but they didn't finish it. They really didn't finish it, and that was the big key to the match. If Spurs finished it, they could have won the game, but they kept missing. Lucas had chances, Harry Kane had chances, Song had chances. They had plenty of chances, but this is what we've always said. They bottle the chances, and also they don't create enough opportunities to be on goal, if that makes sense, you know what I mean? Yes, they're on goal, but it's not clear enough, do you know what I mean? But I've got to just top off to Newcastle. First 3 points of the season. Steve Bruce, I feel like this is for him, you know what I mean? Hopefully the fans can get behind him. They can see, actually, it's not too bad, do you know what I mean? He's actually getting results. He got a result against Spurs, you know what I mean? One of the top 4 in my opinion, one of the top teams in Europe, at home as well. They've got a result, so I'm sorry, but if you're a Newcastle fan, you've got to respect him. He pulled it off, you know. Yes, you're very defensive. Got to be honest, you play a very defensive. You've got 5 at the back, Newcastle, 4 and then a 1. You've just played that 1. But you've got to play like that. When you've got top quality teams against you with top quality players, they stopped him. It did the job. Spurs could not find the net straight up, as we've seen. They had pretty much their best team on. I know Vickers came on, he probably should have been starting, but their creativity got blocked out. They found chances, but Newcastle closed them right down. They had 4 to a ball, they had 4 in defence all the time. They were closing down balls. In attack, they had 4 in attack at time. They were just back forth all the time. And to be honest, I generally think Spurs were shocked. They were like, we can't get through. So amazing defence to Newcastle. I was shocked. And if they keep playing like this, they're not going to be on my relegation list for much longer. But at the minute, they're still on my relegation list just because they need to keep doing this. But I was shocked. Spurs, you need to step it up a little bit because you've got Arsenal next, and it's going to be tough for them. We'll see what happens. Then obviously, last game of the flipping weekend was Wolves versus Burnley. And I've got to be honest, Wolves didn't have a lot of chances, but time and time again, they can just find the net. And that is what happened again. I think they've drawn all 3 of the game of the season. Obviously, we know they drawn against United last game, but this is what they do. This is what they do. I've always said since they came up, they've got a quality team. They've got quality players, they've just got quality around. But sometimes they're a little bit tired. They don't go full power. And this is what they've done in this game. They've not gone 100%. And, you know, to be honest, the best player for them was Jimenez. He was there, he was getting the ball, trying to create chances. But the team around him didn't really do a lot. They didn't. But, you know, obviously he was lucky and won the penalty right at the end on the 90 plus 5 minutes, which, in my opinion, he probably was a little bit lucky to get because, you know, I think he knew what he was doing. He stuck his leg out. I was like, all right, mate, you know what you're doing. You're cheeky, mate. You know what you're doing. I think he kind of knew what he was doing, but it was a penalty. VAR didn't really ref gave it, and it was a beautiful penalty, beautiful stop hitting. So for Wolves, you know, I think they're just finding the rhythm, but they've got to get the results. You know, they're drawing a lot. I feel like they're laying in a few too many, but they can score. You know, Neves, what a flipping strike. Unluckily, he didn't go in, but he's a fantastic player. They've got a quality player. They've got a top 7. They're in Europe, and I've got to be honest, like the people were saying on Match of the Day, I feel like they've played a few games, you know, Monday, then Thursday, then Sunday. I feel like they played a lot of games, they've not had a lot of rest. So, to be honest, Wolves, for getting a point, you've done pretty well. Burnley on the other side, they're a top quality team. They can get a good top 10 finish if they keep playing the way they are. Barnes is on fire, and I just think he's underrated. I feel people are not giving him the credit he deserves. You know, he scored again. He scored every single game he's played, I'm sure. Yeah, he scored the past 3 games. I know he's only been 3 games, but he scored in all games. He's a top quality player. He's a top striker that performs. He gets the ball, he can hold it up, he can create chances, he can shoot, he can score, he can pass. He's a quality player, and I've got to be honest, Burnley have got nothing to worry about. I think there was a little bit unfortunate not to win this game. I think it was very unlucky. They probably did deserve it. They played a lot better. They created a lot more chances and try and do things. And so I think, for being honest, you know, Wolves were lucky. But I think the games Wolves had, you know, they probably deserved the amount of games they played. But Burnley probably should have won it. And they're going to be a tough side. They're going to win games. And they're going to upset a lot of teams this season. So it's going to be interesting, guys. But yes, guys, that is the end of the Simple Football Show this week in week 3 for you guys. thanks for all the support. I'm looking at the camera, it's about to go flat, which is why I'm trying to say as fast as I can. But yes, guys, thank you so much for all the support. It's been an amazing week of football. I will see you next week for another week of football, guys, in the Simple Football Show, week 4, guys, which will go more into detail, again with fixtures, and hopefully I can charge my camera so it doesn't go flat next time. But guys, thank you, you've been amazing. I will see you very soon. Just keep supporting your teams, let's go.